Now your Storm Track forecast first, sponsored by Kansas 811.
Another hot and humid day across the area, struggling to cool things down this evening. A lot of us just barely below that 80-degree mark, or 90-degree mark, I should say, and we're really not going to get much cooler through the rest of the night. May see an isolated storm or two, but otherwise dropping into the low 70s by early Friday morning. How much hotter we get heading on into the weekend? That's coming up.
Working for you. 27 News starts now.
National Teachers Hall of Fame Week is taking place in Kansas after the tragic incident in Uvalde, Texas that took the lives of 2 teachers. What one local town is doing to commemorate their sacrifice.
For teens transitioning into adulthood, knowing how to get along can be a struggle. How one local project is helping them learn those important life skills.
And the night is here. It is time. By the end of this newscast, someone is going to be a new owner of this home that I'm standing in right now. It's the 2022 St. Jude Dream Home Giveaway, and it's coming up.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for 27 News at 10. I'm Mackenzie Davis.
An exciting time. I'm David George, and tonight is the big night. St. Jude is announcing the winner of this year's Dream Home Giveaway, but first, a look at weather. Storms are popping up out west, and they could be into our area sometime overnight.
Yeah, and Matt Miller is live in Shawnee County, where the winner of the Dream Home will be drawn in just a few minutes, so just hold on. But first, let's check in with 27 News Storm Track meteorologist Gabriela Gomez with the latest on those storms.
Yeah, a lot of us are pretty quiet out there right now, but there's disturbances almost all around us, not impacting our viewing area, but there is a slight chance that some could. Right now, we're seeing some storms across Missouri, southeastern Nebraska, and even in western Kansas. But they haven't really moved all that much. They've kind of been stationary, so we're keeping an eye on them. As of right now, though, we're not seeing a lot of activity. Mostly clear skies in Clay Center, also in Holton. Temperatures trying but struggling to cool down. 89 degrees right now. Winds out of the south at 7 miles an hour. Dew point still at 77, and even this late in the evening, it still feels like 102 outside. It is still brutal out there this evening. 85 for Elmont, Silver Lake sitting at 93, downtown Manhattan at 87, just shy of 90 for Junction City. 80s all around. Will eventually drop into the 70s heading into early tomorrow morning. Maybe a stray shower, but most will stay dry. How long we deal with this excessive heat before we try and get some relief? That and more is still ahead.
The day and the time we've all been waiting for is finally here. Tonight, we're announcing the winner of this year's St. Jude Dream Home Giveaway, and the winner will be chosen live on air in just a few minutes.
Just a few minutes, so let's get right out to 27 News Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller. He's joining us live as the clock is ticking to name this year's Topeka St. Jude Dream Home winner. Matt, what's going on out there?
Yeah, you know, the excitement, I'll tell you, just the thought, we've had already a lot of winners. We'll be telling you more about who all has won prizes already this evening. But this has been great. We had a sellout, which we're excited that it happened today, but we sold out. That means another large amount of money has been raised. This is our 5th year. So we thought, before we do the giveaway, we'll do a little look back, because we have to understand when we talk about all these great things that have been raised for St. Jude, it's because of you. We've had so many people all across our communities, so many communities across our part of the state, as well as so many states across the country who have people participating in the Topeka St. Jude Dream Home Giveaway. So I want to take a look back at the last few years of how much support you've given us. Back in 2018, KSNT embarked on a partnership that would help change the lives of children battling cancer and their families. We did this by teaming up with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital with a Dream Home Giveaway. The first home was in Miller's Reserve in southwest Topeka and built by Drape Homes. After raising $650,000, we were able to hold our first drawing and give away the home to one lucky winner. With such enormous community support, it was on to year 2. The neighborhood changed as the second home was built in Lawrence Bay, also a new builder with the Dream Home in the hands of Mark Bowling Construction. After another successful campaign raising even more money in 2019 than in our first year, the night of the drawing was once again upon us. Despite the onset of the COVID pandemic in 2020, the Dream Home Giveaway once again motored along. With another beautiful home built by Mark Bowling Construction in Lawrence Bay, the Dream Home Giveaway was still going. The donations poured in, and at the end of our 3rd year, the total amount raised over those 3 years had surpassed $2 million for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Once again, we had made it to giveaway night. And in 2021, the dream home was built just north of Lake Shawnee in southeast Topeka by Topeka Homes once again. That home was another showstopper with hundreds of thousands of dollars raised in our 4th year and making the dreams come true of one lucky winner of the dream home. So here we are in the 5th year of the dream home giveaway, and with more than $3 million raised with your generous support, it's time tonight to find out who will win this gorgeous home built by Topeka Homes, built up north at Green Hill Point. And tonight, not only have we raised another large sum of money for children who are fighting the fight against cancer, but we're about to have one lucky person's life changed with this grand prize drawing. Yeah, you know, you think about that, over $3.4 million raised in the last 5 years. Your support of this has been great. And you think about all the lives that touches, from the children and their families who are having to battle cancer. And no child should ever have to go through that. No family should have to watch their child go through that. But it takes the burden away so that they're not having to make those payments. They're not having to worry about anything but just making sure their kid can get okay. And their kid can be helped out in whatever way possible. But even if you don't know anyone who has been at St. Jude and gone through the actual procedures and all of the treatments there. You know, if you've ever had a flu shot, if you've ever had any kind of cancer treatment, you've probably been touched by the research that is done. It's not just helping the children, it is, but it's also helping the research as well. So there's a lot of good that's going into this, and we're so glad you're a part of it, and we're also so glad that here in just a few minutes, somebody gets to win this house. So we're excited to do that. Coming up after the break, we're going to be coming back in a little bit. We'll be doing the drawing here in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. The drawing to win the dream home is just minutes away.
All right, Matt. Yeah, good stuff. You set the stage, and now people are waiting anxiously, and we'll see you again in just a few minutes for that very important moment. Well, Emporia State University is honoring the bravery and hard work of educators everywhere. Teachers from all across the country are in Emporia this week. The classes for 2020 and 2022 will be inducted into the National Teachers Hall of Fame tomorrow. The event will also recognize teachers who lost their lives in the Uvalde shooting, and their names will be added to the Fallen Educators Memorial. It's a blend of celebration for inductees, but it's also a time to remember those who lost their lives doing what they love most, and that's teaching. As we approach the 10-year anniversary of what happened in Sandy Hook, well, we recognize the victims of Uvalde also, and teachers across the country are leaving their jobs right now, but low salaries, burnout, and fear of what's happening in American schools are driving them out. The former Sandy Hook administrator wants everybody to not forget those lives lost, while teachers past and present want to communicate how important educators are in the lives of children.
It's such an incredibly important piece of recovery that I'm not sure people understand, because for the families, it's a permanent remembrance of their family member.
What can we do as exemplary role model? We managed to stay at least 20 years. Some of us have taught 29 or even more. What can we do not only to retain or attract educators, but how can we get them inspired to stay in the field and then bring in more educators?
Dr. Salvatore and also teachers attending tomorrow's events want to spread the word about the ups and the downs that come with a job in education. And there's also trauma that follows a lot of tragedy, but there's also hope for the future.
The Topeka Youth Project educates local youth with real-world experience, from resume workshops to youth court. Teens are learning what it means to be an adult. Topeka Youth Project aims to help kids get hired and hold on to jobs.
The inspiration to help the kids in Topeka is to build a strong community, and we have to start with our youth to keep them in Topeka. We want to make sure that they build a solid foundation so that they grow roots and stay in our community.
Like many organizations, the Topeka Youth Project has seen a decline in numbers since the pandemic, but they are rebuilding and rebranding as they strive to build a more positive community for their youth. Well, the moment we've all been waiting for is almost here. The 2022 winner of the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway is about to be announced.
Just after the break, we're going to go back out there live. Matt is in the wings waiting patiently here, because in just a few minutes, the final name will be drawn, the winner of this year's Dream Home. That announcement is straight ahead, so stay with us.
And later in sports, meet the Topeka softball team with a unique mission that won gold. Plus, what fans are looking forward to about Kansas City's first World Cup. Stick around.
Now, excessive heat causes more deaths than all other weather events. So we want to make sure you have some information on how to keep yourself safe. Hot cars can be deadly. Now, the inside temperature of a car can quickly reach 120 degrees. Now, be sure to check on family, friends, and neighbors who do not have air conditioning or who spend much of their time alone, and stay hydrated by drinking plenty of fluids. Now, don't forget your pets. Check on animals frequently to make sure they are not suffering from the heat. And some of the signs of heat stroke in your pet are heavy panting and unable to calm down even when laying down, brick red gum color, fast heartbeat, and unable to get up. Take your pet to see the vet if you see these signs. Now we'll get to all those stories and more here soon, but first we want to start with an update to the DeJuan Simmons trial, a story we and myself personally have been following for 3 years now. Behind bars is where this man, Francisco Mendez, will spend the rest of his life. He was sentenced today for the murder of DeJuan Simmons. Now, you may remember DeJuan Simmons was killed in April of 2019. He and his friends were celebrating after his teammate Corey Ballantyne was drafted to the NFL. Here's what happened. Police say Simmons and Ballantyne were standing outside of a party during the trial. Witnesses recalled the two leaving when someone approached them. They asked if he has gas or smoke for sale. The two said no. The car then left and then drove back around and opened fire. Now, Simmons was fatally shot and Ballantyne was shot as well, but not severely injured. In March of this year, a jury found Mendez guilty on one count of first-degree murder for killing DeJuan Simmons. Here's what happened at today's sentencing.
All right, Matt, thank you. And again, he did get that huge crowd that we were trying to push his way. Well, today, President Joe Biden announced more than $1 billion in new support for Ukraine, including more weapons for the military and economic support for the Ukrainian government. 27 News Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson is live now with the impact it could have on the war. Rashad, good evening.
Good evening, Mackenzie and David. President Biden says that Ukraine has entered into a new phase in this war, which is why he authorized more high-powered weapons for them.
We're in a critical window now.
President Biden says an additional $800 million of military and humanitarian aid is headed to Ukraine.
This package includes heavy artillery weapons, dozens of howitzers, and 144,000 rounds of ammunition to go with those howitzers.
The U.S. has already started training some Ukrainian soldiers on the artillery systems, but President Biden says not all U.S. assistance will be advertised.
Sometimes we will speak softly and carry a large javelin, because we're sending a lot of those in as well.
Also Thursday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen met with Ukraine's Prime Minister and pledged an additional $500 million in direct assistance to help keep Ukraine's government operating.
The needs of Ukraine are urgent, and we plan to deploy this direct aid to Ukraine as soon as possible.
We need money, we need technologies, we need support.
Republicans like Ohio Senator Rob Portman support the assistance.
We're finally getting weapons into their hands that they need.
But South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham says it's still not enough.
They still don't have the offensive weapons they need. We're too slow.
And President Biden says that the U.S. is running out of already approved money for Ukraine, which is why he's going to ask Congress for more money next week. David, Mackenzie.
Now, Rashad, today President Biden also announced a new program for Ukrainian refugees coming to the U.S. So can you tell us a little more about that?
Yes, so the program is called Uniting for Ukraine, and the U.S. had already announced that they're going to accept up to 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. It's unclear if they'll actually meet those numbers, but part of the requirement for these refugees will be that they'll have to go through a vetting process and they'll have to be sponsored by a U.S. citizen or an organization.
Rashad, thank you so much for that live update. And that again from D.C. Have yourself a great night.
All right. You know, we're excited because we are so close. The drawing is just moments away, really, not even minutes. What we do want to do is let you know that we've had a lot of winners so far. You know, this is one of the drawings that we do. We do a lot of them through the course of the night. So if you weren't watching some of the earlier broadcasts, may not have heard already who's won. So I'm going to go back over this. We'll start all the way to the first one that we gave away. This was the open house prize drawing. This means you had to come to the open house. This is not for the people who bought the tickets necessarily. It was for the people who came and toured the home. And if you toured that home, you were in the drawing for a $10,000 Visa gift card from Azure Credit Union, and Stacy Marney of Topeka winning that one. And then our first of the actual raffled tickets that you purchase and reserve for this, that went with the tickets on sale prize. That is the $10,000 tornado shelter with installation from Southwind Shelters and Safe Rooms, and Chance Droege of Burlingame winning that one. And then the early bird, which was our second deadline, that is a $10,000 gift certificate, from Carpet One Home and Flooring. That was from Keith Pict and Oskaloosa winning that one. And then just last hour in our Fox 43 show, we drew the bonus prize, which was the $2,500 shopping spree to Sutherland's Topeka, and Armand Landavazo of Topeka winning that one as well. So we just have one more prize to give away, and it's this beautiful home built by Drape Homes. Mike Drape of Drape Homes is here with me. You guys have done this a few times now, so what keeps bringing you back?
Well, it's obviously a very good cause. I just want to thank all the viewers for making this happen. We had a sellout today. That's what this is all about, raising money for a really good cause. I just can't thank you all enough. I can't thank the subcontractors and the vendors who stepped up to donate a lot of time and material to make this beautiful house come together, and just to see us sell out and raise this much money for such a good cause means a lot to me, and it kind of keeps us coming back. I mean, you know, the kids still need help. We want to do our best to be a part of that, and honored to bring this home for 2022.
Now, sports with Glenn Kenley.
Well, if you watched 27 News at 10 last night, you heard about Maui Ahuna, the sophomore from Hilo, Hawaii, is making a name for himself at KU. If you watched the Sunflower Showdown tonight, you heard that name often. The football belongs to the Wildcats. The basketball belongs to the Jayhawks. What about baseball? Who owns that rivalry? Dylan Phillips would like a word. The Cats home run king doing home run things. 1-0 quickly. Kansas responding. Caleb Upshaw knows a thing or two about the long ball. Going. That ball's gone. Kansas still down 1, though. It would remain that way in the 6th. Maui Ahuna, sit back, relax, and watch him put on a show. The Jeter-esque jump throw. What was that about Ahuna and putting on a show? He doesn't just do it in the field. He can hit the ball as well. Down 1 in the 8th. Maui, this ball game is tied. Are you not entertained? If not, maybe this will do it. Top 9, tie game. Guess who? Maui Ahuna. Clutch as they come. Kansas takes game 1, 5-3, the final. We got some other scores for you from the area this evening. The start of 3-game series for Washburn and Emporia State. Ichabods beat Central Oklahoma 7-5. Hornets fall to UCM 1-2. We got softball scores too. MIAA tournament for them as well. Washburn softball beats Missouri Western for their 24th win in a row. Emporia State softball victorious too. They beat Northeastern State 2-0. For Kansas softball, Manhattan's Haley Harper drove in 3 runs for the Jayhawks. It's a close one, but Kansas falls 8-7. And it was a signing party day for Topeka High's Nyjah Kennedy. She'll play softball at Stanford next year. We heard from Kennedy in our 6 p.m. show. If you missed that, just go to our website, KSNT.com. Look for this story. You can watch or read, whichever you prefer, about the special day for the Lady Trojans senior. That's a look at sports. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Good evening from Manhattan, Kansas, where it was game 2 of the 3-game weekend Sunflower Showdown series. It was an exciting one here tonight. Last night, K-State led 3-1, and the Jayhawks rallied back for a comeback win. Tonight, K-State again jumped out to an early lead, but this time they would not let it go. It's a 5-2 victory for Kansas State, evening up the series and setting up an epic rubber match tomorrow with the Cats just 1 game up in the Big 12 standings. 1 p.m. for that series finale tomorrow afternoon. It'll be right here at Toynton Family Stadium. We've got some other scores to look at this evening. MIAA baseball and softball tournaments going on. In the baseball tournament, it's a big win for the Washburn Ichabods. Washburn with the 2-game sweep of Central Oklahoma. They advance. Emporia State falls to Central Missouri. They're eliminated from that tournament. In the softball tournament, Emporia State wins 3-1 to stay alive. Washburn beats Missouri Western 8-1. That's win number 25 in a row for the Ichabods on the softball field. They're simply automatic. Last but certainly not least, we got the Topeka Tropics, a home game for them tonight. a high-scoring battle. The offense was firing on all cylinders. They just didn't get enough stops in this one. They fall 44-33. Their last home game coming up. That's 2 weeks from today on May 21st. Their last home game. You want to make sure you get out and catch that Topeka indoor football. That's your live look at sports. Ryan's back after the break with a final look at the forecast.
We've got another one of our crews out there. Matthew Johnstone is out in Junction City. Matthew, what do you have for us from Junction City?
That's right, Matt. I'm here in Junction City. Alyssa and I just got out of that big storm near Manhattan area. It's kind of spooky. We set up that live shot, live look. When we got that tornado warning, we got out of there as soon as we could. We were still hit by hail on that roadway getting out to Junction City from Manhattan. Now, I'm going to have Alyssa go ahead and show you this storm. Just moments ago, this was pretty clear skies, all things considered. We were pretty excited to get out of the Manhattan area and back into Junction City, but now the whole area is darkened up quite a bit. We're getting some light rain currently in the Junction City area, but nothing too bad, all things considered now in the area. Definitely nothing like what we were getting hit by in Manhattan. Now, we're going to stay out here, keep you updated. All right, and look towards other areas around Junction City to give you more updates, Matt.
All right, Matthew, thank you.